This is a real short one, just the last few days of the challenge. I'm gonna preserve my sunflower seeds from this year. This one got huge. No. Seeds are still green right there. They haven't turned black and dried out. Some of them are closer than others. I like the fall colored ones, of course, because it reminds me of better times. I want to get the ones that are all the way black. If you look on the sides, some of them are still green. So this one's all black on the sides and falling out. That means they're ready. I leave these as they are for a while so the birds can take advantage of all the seeds too. In college, I took plant taxonomy, and you learn more than you ever wanted to know about plants. But sunflowers are a composite head. They have little disc flowers where I'm rubbing the seeds out. And on the outside, the ray flowers are the pretty part. I just put them in a bag and saved them for later. Our strawberries are still going strong in August. The pine berries kind of suffered here. We got lots of strawberries, especially from the 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭. But this year we just snacked on them. I didn't preserve any, and we are long since done with strawberries. My husband saw these on sale, and I do love me some strawberries. But oh, come on. Are all these bad now? Oh my, this might be a failed project. I think I was too late. Anyway, I didn't get around to these, and the ones I did eat weren't the greatest strawberries. You can see some of them are pretty light. So I'm just going to freeze them. But first, I'm going to take all the tops and holes out. Just with a knife. I don't have a fancy hole thingy. We don't typically have smoothies or anything, but I can save these for a strawberry shortcake or something like that. Something where you put more sugar in it, because these were not, they just weren't ripe, I guess. This might look a little insignificant, and maybe it is, but I have some other strawberries I'm going to add these to. Prime example of every little bit counts. Here's the other one I did before, earlier, so that'll just add to this bag. So I'm just going to put this in the freezer. Here's our Sugar Rush peach pepper again. It's a productive plant. But the gardener from Florida says that the hotter ones are more productive in the heat. A lot of our other peppers will be more productive in the fall. Our summers are just too intense. This is the poblano pepper. Sometimes they can be pretty spicy, but they're supposed to be pretty mild. One of y'all suggested that I make a hot sauce out of the Sugar Rush peach peppers. I don't like hot sauce because of the vinegar, like all that vinegar, and Derek doesn't like anything hot. So his son Dylan loves hot stuff. We'll send him stuff, or maybe some of it will go to our neighbor across the street. We can only do a portion of this on this video because it has to ferment for so long. We've never made a hot sauce, so we are winging it and using a recipe for a guideline. And then add 6 garlic cloves from the garden. We just left those garlic cloves whole. Now you need a teaspoon of salt. We recorded more footage for this portion, but my computer said, no, I don't want to upload that. How much?
About a quarter teaspoon.
Of cumin.
And a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Or onion powder.
And then water to cover. And this has to sit for a week or longer. We chose cheesecloth instead of one of the fermenting caps because it needs to have some of the yeasts and fermenting stuff from the outside air. Can't do anything. This has to sit for at least a week, and then it'll get vinegar and sit for longer. This is not food, but I wanted to add our preservation of wool. I knit and crochet, and I wanted wool sheep so that I could make my own yarn. Or I thought I did. I've had sheep for about 4 years now. I am by no means an expert. I'm winging it / trying to implement what I learned from someone in the fiber world. The first stage of washing is degreasing and getting poop and vegetable matter, VM, out of the wool. And because Katniss, my South Down sheep, has a lot more lanolin than the Shetland sheep that I have, I do a second wash. As I'm washing, I like to pull at it and make sure it's getting all the crap stuck in the wool. You also don't want to use water that's too hot because it can felt it. Here's all that lanolin down there. And here it is after I dump all that dirty water out in the yard. You don't want to put that down in the sink. It's got a lot of grease in it. And that's the second wash done. I take it out and wring it out in clumps and then put it in a towel and really try to mash out all that water. Then I fluff it out and get it as flat as I can and put them on towels. I'll stack those towels on top of each other and let it dry for a day. Once the wool is dry, you can either store it or start working on it. You have to start with little bitty clumps. I'm doing what's called flick carding. You can also do it in a carding drum or use hand carders, which is 2 brushes against each other. All it's doing is aligning all those fibers in one direction. That is now called a roving, if you're better than I am at it. This is called a drop spindle, so named because you're gonna drop it a lot. It's got a leader on it, and then you attach your wool to it, and then you give it a spin, pinching it in your right hand or whatever handed you are, and then as you hold it, you pull the wool, and that spin travels up the wool. You kind of have to do it to understand it, or maybe another video that's better at it than I am. Anyway, hopefully you understand now that all yarn is pieces of wool that are lined up together and held together by each other. It's really hard to explain. And then you put a spin on it, and that's yarn. I was really wanting to harvest these sweet potatoes for this challenge, but I don't want to rush them just for the sake of the last video. So make sure you're subscribed to see my garden videos every other Sunday. I also do farm update videos on the other Sundays. And then some kitchen work preserving stuff like this some Wednesday. This year I might take part in a portion of Crocktober, if you've heard of that. You make crock pot meals every day in the month of October. Hopefully I can give you a meal or 2 a week in the month of October for Crocktober. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much. Bye. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload some Wednesdays and all Sundays, and you can keep watching us grow our farm. Have a good one.